You said tuna. Like tuna fish and crackers? Yeah. Okay, Daddy. Give a hand for Mr. Tuna Fish and Crackers.
Like young people now have a problem with commitment. Is it that young people have a problem with commitment, or that old folks had a unhealthy relationship with their unhealthy idea of what a relationship is supposed to be? Where's the line between boundaries and commitment? Like how long do you stay with somebody? Or how long do you deal with somebody or deal with something, be a job, whatever it is? Like, at what point do you realize, like, yeah, I'm going too far, or I don't like where this is, or I need to consider myself first, or whatever. Like, but if you committed to something, you got to stay with it. You got to keep it. You got to carry it with you.
That's exactly what it means. Yeah.
So
if they got a problem with commitment, like I said,
you think they have a problem with commitment? You think they have a strong commitment to themselves?
They can't commit without discipline. So discipline is a huge factor. The fact that you didn't commit, that basically what they're saying is that this new generation has no discipline to commit.
What you mean?
You have to have discipline to do something that you no longer want to commit to. Even if you don't want to commit to it, if you still do it, you're committed. And once you stop that, you're a loser.
A loser?
Yeah, you're a quitter. Or whatever you want to call those people. You're a quitter.
So if you decide to get married, you decide to be in a relationship, you decide to take on this job, y'all running in the same direction.
Yeah.
When you notice something about this job, something about this woman, something about whatever, is literally going against your original commitment, which should have been yourself by having healthy boundaries, what do? Do you break that commitment, or you do break this commitment? Because both of them are commitments, as far as I'm concerned.
Telling your daughter you're gonna be at her, talent show.
Yeah.
And you make a commitment to the fellas that you're gonna drink beers with them at the same time.
Right.
You literally like, oh shit, I can't even drink beers with y'all because I committed to my daughter. You committed to both things, but it's like they got a time. Everything has a time and schedule to perform your commitment. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing. I don't think that you, like, if you drink beer, you drink beer. If you like hanging out with the fellas, you like hanging out with the fellas. If you like drinking beer with the fellas, you do that. So that's not going against what you hold yourself as a commitment to. This is just a conflict of interest or a conflict of time. You can't be in two places at the same time. That's something completely different. Your boys ain't telling you, fuck your daughter. Come, you know what I'm saying? Come drink with us. If
they
you
good though.
I mean, they ain't your boys then. Well, so I'm saying, like, they will probably, like, most men will be like, oh no, you got to go do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell her we said what's up, or, you know what I mean? Here, give her a couple of dollars for us. We'll buy her some flowers, whatever. Like, they are going to support you in that. So that's different. Like, and if they don't, then they pieces of shit.
Well, why people think they're friends? Every time something that they say fuck somebody else that's
not fuck somebody else.
It's not your friend. Like,
that's your daughter. It's not just somebody else.
Hey, my daughter, go drink beers with us.
You trip. You out.
That's your daughter.
It's just and you and if that's my daughter and you my boy, then she looks at you like an uncle, and you saying fuck her. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't mean that he's not your boy.
That definitely means that.
Yeah, I cut him off right away.
Immediately.
Oh.
Like, I don't know where this path is leading down to. But if you're willing to sit there and tell me to my face that I should abandon my daughter, this obligation that I had with my daughter prior to fucking drinking beers with y'all, to come drink beers with
I knew you before your daughter.
I
knew you 20 years before your daughter.
Yeah. And I'm surprised I ain't see this fuckery before.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. That's fuckery. You're fuckery.
I got the fuckers.
You do. Yeah, you got too much loyalty to somebody who just got here. I've been in your life. How you doing?
You crazy.
Yeah. Like, you my man.
Yeah.
30 grand, saved my life in shootouts and all types of shit.
Okay.
You got a daughter and now she holds more weight than me?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because, first off.
Yeah, let's think about it. Like,
no, I don't have to think about it. First off, if you are my man 50 grand, you hold her in the same esteem that I hold her in. That don't even make no sense.
No, but I don't even know why you holding it like that. Like that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not understanding your logic, my man.
Yeah.
I'm your man.
You sound like a jealous woman.
I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to make sense of.
And that's why you sound like a jealous woman.
No,
Because you can't make sense of it.
No, but that doesn't make sense why people hold people to a higher level when you just. Is it about how you? It doesn't. Here's the thing. Let me get my thoughts together.
Go ahead, go for it.
Is it because you just met the person? Why is that person holding more value over the person you knew for so long? Why did you even know this person so long if you could just put a piece in front of them?
What do you mean?
Obviously, your daughter is holding more. Why are you laughing?
Because you tripping. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to make two sense. You're holding your daughter to a higher regard than somebody who held you down for decades.
So why you ain't marry him?
No, you ain't gotta marry to be.
No.
No. Why do you have to marry somebody?
You gotta marry him. If he's supposed to be a man, 50 grand, and he hold the keys to the castle.
No,
I mean, him
crazy.
Above everybody.
No, I say him above everybody.
Him above her.
No, yeah, your mother.
No, you gonna choose me? You gonna choose me over this bitch that you just met 2 years ago? That you've been fucking? That you had a kid with? And that you decided to marry? You gonna choose her over me?
Definitely don't choose your wife over your man. That's crazy.
This boy is wild. Well, this is hard because you're not going. I don't think you ever gonna get married.
No, I just don't get that logic though.
What
like,
logic?
That the thing I was just saying. Like you care. I mean, the daughter kid thing. I get it. That's part of you. But your woman ain't part of you. She ain't come from you.
That's an interesting point. So looking at the gravity, I don't want to say gravity. The gravity, because the gravity is the weight. Looking at the gravity that we place on relationships. Like romantic relationships. Says a lot. Because you can be dealing with somebody for like a year and like really fall in love with them. And most men and women will look at that thing and say to themselves like, oh, I know this is that. So I know that thing is going to take precedence over me and her relationship or me and his relationship, whatever it is. And they're willing to concede that and they're willing to step.
Yeah.
So all of the shit that you saying about like some dude coming along or you coming along saying like, oh yeah, how you gonna put this bitch in front of me? That's probably not gonna happen because that's just normal society and it's the way that people look at shit. But it's crazy because it's like y'all break up and this bitch is gone.
Exactly. And your man's still there.
He's still there. But you was willing to replace that person and push him to the side like so easily.
Yeah, so stupid.
Because of some emotions that you have.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense at all.
It doesn't make sense. But does the fact that it doesn't make sense mean that that is wrong?
Absolutely. It's completely wrong. And that's why the friend shouldn't tolerate it. Like, man, you getting with this bitch, man. You really like shitting on me because you met her. Like, there's nothing else I could say without you trying to say like, yo, you should marry her. Like, on some gay shit. Like the boy.
I wasn't saying it on some gay shit. I'm just saying like that should be a life partner. Like you should put that person like he should be primo numero uno and you say no. Because honestly, the contract of marriage outside of the sex, right? Like the contract of marriage is like, yo, if something happened to me, you get all of this. You get everything, all my earthly possessions. You are the person that's here for me and all this other stuff. And I think probably back in like Norse times or whatever, like all of these other times, I think they probably respected that relationship above marriage in a sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that they really was like, no, that's his brother in arms. That's his this, that's his that. You know what I'm saying? Like he comes first and then me. I don't think like, and I'm not talking like I'm stepping outside of the Bible because that's what most people are going to go to. Like they're going to look at it and be like, no, because the Bible say, or, back in biblical times, like this is like, there were more cultures and more whatever, and more structured relationships than the ones that were in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like if you look at a lot of Muslim relationships, like their wife is like behind them, right? Like it's like, all right, she's subservient, and it's nothing wrong with that. But their brother is their brother. You see what I'm saying? And that love that they have for their brother is like, it's unbreakable. They look at this person like, you know, all these other things. And from the way that I stand, and I could be wrong, you know what I mean? Because I'm not Muslim, but it looks more like the woman is a possession and the brother is the relationship.
Oh, could be so.
It looks that way to me. So like if I'm just feeling the relationship, like if I'm not, no rules, not reading, no nothing or whatever like that, that's the way that it looks like. It looks like my family, these people behind me, they are my possessions. Like they are whatever. I have a responsibility to them. But their brother is like, they got this unbreakable bond. It's like, it's super deep. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing, minus the romance, minus the sex.
My brother's keeper.
Like
ain't my wife keeper.
I mean, as listen,
my woman's keeper.
What I'm saying is that relationship sounds like and seems like it makes more sense.
Yeah,
in the way that you talk.
It's always going to make more sense, at least to me. To me, I'd have no idea why guys be like shitting on their homies, unless you just always knew they was foul in the back of your head. But to shit on true homies or friends or brothers for a chick that you met for a short period of time, I don't care how in lust you were or in love, like that shit don't even make sense. Like,
but here's the thing. Now I ask you this: how many true brothers have you had in your life?
Oh, to my like blood?
No.
Oh well, I give it up to like maybe two.
That's crazy.
Why that's crazy?
Because you 40 plus years old and like two.
That's all. To be a reality of it, I think about it often. You ain't really supposed to have a whole bunch of people in your life. All these people in your...
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is...
have too many people that give a fuck about you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. No, they don't. People really don't give a fuck about you. Like, so it's a thing about, the people you care about, sometimes you gotta evaluate if they care about me the way I care about them.
True.
It shouldn't factor in, but to a degree, like, just that's how it is. Like, you're not really going to have 10 people out here, like, unless you like on a platoon. Like, you out here in the real front lines of war.
Yeah, that's different though. That's life or death. Like there's a different reason.
But that's how it is though. If you life or death, like,
no, what I'm saying is life or death is smack in front of your face. Like, so the decisions that you make when you're under a specific stress or whatever like that is based on survival. So when you're making decisions based on survival, it is purely based on self-interest. You're not making those decisions thinking, let me go save this person. Yo, don't go run out there. They go run out there. You're not chasing behind. Shit. Got fucked up. Now, if your actual brother who you have this love for, this attachment to, you know, whatever like that, he goes to run out there, you might run behind him and chase him. But that's like two different things. I'm not saying you will. I'm saying you might. So that's completely funny as shit. You made this shit real clear. Like, I ain't fucking just like the other bull. But like you might go out there, but that's outside of survival.
Yeah.
This is somebody who you are holding on to. So I don't look at any decisions that people make based on survival as like true definitions of character.
Everything is survival.
No.
Whether you want to believe it or not.
It's not.
This is our surviving.
This society is set up so that we don't have to live on survival. Like the people who live on survival in the society are either chose not to do the basics or are under some type of discrimination.
Yeah.
But the people who can live, like they're outside of those two things. Like they following the rules and they're not being discriminated against. And they can live perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like fine. I'm not saying like they live in an extravagant life and all of this other stuff. That's the way that the society is supposed to be set up. Yeah. So everybody can live the way that they live. People get on drugs, they fuck themselves over. People decide that they don't want to work a job, they fuck themselves over. People don't have any discipline, they fuck themselves over. Like all of these other things. And I'm not saying like there aren't exceptions to that. What I'm saying is that's the way that the society is set up. They intentionally set it up that way to be that way.
Yeah.
So that part I'm not even thinking about. If this was back in medieval to like whatever, however it is, like whatever times you want to go back to, then survival was like, that's all it was, because you were trying to set up a homestead or you was trying to go out and actually kill animals to get food. You know, like survival was everything.
Yeah.
And even fucking like having sex was based on survival. You were trying to procreate so your lineage will carry on, or just human beings in general will carry on. So, but now this society that we live in, this shit ain't based on no survival at all. Like it's just not. Like it's, in fact, if you live in survival mode in this society for too long, it actually does you a huge disservice.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn to live and not survive.
Yeah.
Tell you.
I mean, yes, some parts I agree with.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I agree with the fact that that some people put they dude before put they homie, they man, they boy, whatever you want to call them, before they significant other.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you're a real homie. That's all. Yes, I mean, that's only up to you to decide if he's a real homie.
Can you imagine like setting up your life with a dude?
No, what are you talking about?
Just like non-sexually. I'm just saying, like, can you imagine setting up your life with a dude? Like, because that's what you do with your significant other. Like, you're building a life.
You never had a roommate?
No.
I had a roommate.
My roommate, my brother was my roommate.
No, I had a roommate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand it.
Yeah, how many roommates have you had?
One.
Oh.
Thought he was cool.
He's why you say it twice.
Because like different examples popped in my head. Like he wasn't cool.
Yeah, they was
he
still
wasn't
coming.
cool.
You had to shut up. I'm gonna keep saying this shit. I'm gonna sound like a broken fucking record. He wasn't cool on a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of opportunists, right? They recognize your kind heart and then they take advantage of the shit.
Well, like I said, your real man is like I said, your real man will be there for you. As much as you was there for them, or at least feel like they still owe you something if they did you wrong. They would try to repay you some type of way without even like having an argument. That's why I will sever relationships, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, you owe me, because you know what you owe me. In general,
You feel like people owe you?
Yeah, people say it all the time that don't nobody owe you anything.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, people owe a lot. They just don't want to pay up. Like the IRS is damn sure example of people owing them. And that's just is literal, but in figuratively, people owe a lot of people a lot of shit. People are very, very selective thinking when it comes to owing people back, or they feelings on how they owe people back. As if like in a money measure, if their contribution to your life was more than what you contribute to their life. I don't know if I said that right. Whatever they contribute to your life, they seem to think it's like
there's more weight and value put on their contributions than your contributions.
Yeah, so I don't owe you shit.
Right.
And you can suck a dick.
Yeah, I don't think the people who you talking about even go that far in the thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't think they try to rationalize that shit.
Oh yeah, I don't know who you think I'm talking about.
I'm talking about people in general who operate under that, like people who get to that point. I don't think that they try to weigh or balance it, because I think people who, first off, I think people who you look at like that's my man, like they not keeping score.
Yeah, you should. Keeping score with people is a
way to keep it honest, but I don't have that much energy.
Yeah, you got to keep score with people. Like you got to definitely. That's the only way to
I believe. Oh, let me finish. Let me let you finish. That's the only way to what?
No. Go ahead.
I believe what they say is true. The body keeps the score. So if I feel a certain way, then that score is lopsided.
No, you forget things. You forget things a lot.
No. It's not. It's a difference. You talking about thinking. I'm talking about feeling. Like your body keeps score of what goes on. And after a while, enough shit gets repetitive, your body starts responding. and it's not even it's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. So your body feels a certain thing. That's like psychology. Like, you know what I mean? Like when something happens and it's traumatic, and then there's something that reminds you, and then you can't figure out why you feel anxious, is because of that. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but something happened that triggered that anxiety from something that happened back then, and your body remembers it. Your body does. So what I'm saying, like, if it's traumatic enough, or if it happens with regularity enough, if I'm dealing with this person and I feel a certain way when I come around them, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
It's for a reason. And you know what I mean? Like, that's, unfortunately, that happens, like, when you meet people and you don't like this person, is because they remind you of somebody who you don't like. It ain't got nothing to do with them. And then they don't even have to do, like, it might not even be the thing that you don't like.
Yeah.
That reminded you of them. But for whatever reason, that thing reminds you, like Jerry curl. Like, I ain't seen a Jerry curl, Lord knows how long. I ain't got no problem with Jerry curls, but for whatever reason, this motherfucker got a Jerry curl walk up to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that motherfucker because he remind me of the fucking person, the Jerry curl, who, you know what I mean, like, used to pick on me when I was back in fucking third grade or some shit like that. Like, I mean, whatever. So now, like, for whatever reason, it gets triggered, and it's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. It gets triggered. Now I'm responding with anxiety or whatever the case may be. Now, all I'm saying is I'm applying that same principle to keeping score with people who you actually care about. At some point, your body is going to tell you, like, this shit ain't right.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I ain't sitting there trying to keep score. I'm not trying to remember every fucking thing. I'm not over there putting marks up. $5 up. $35. That's 40. Damn, this motherfucker running it up, ain't he? Up. $450. We approaching the $500 mark.
No.
All right, listen, that's real money. That's real money.
Yeah.
That's real money. Yo, let me borrow $20. Come on, man, I ain't got 20. Ooh. So I can't get $20 from you, but you could borrow $490?
I mean,
that's too much.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What?
When people don't pay back their debts, I start stealing. So, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna start stealing that money.
What you stealing?
Oh, you don't want to pay back?
What you stealing?
Yeah. Keep me in your life. I'm gonna start stealing that shit back.
Hey, yo, you see my fucking controller? No.
That shit, man, shit gonna start missing.
Yeah.
And that's just figuratively too. Like, shit just gonna start. I'm gonna start stealing some shit.
Yeah, that's one thing that I won't do. I won't allow somebody to make me something that I'm not. And that's not saying
you can't play the game always straight up.
Yes.
No, you can't.
You sure can.
That's the only defense you really have against most people.
To walk away?
No, the element of surprise. You don't know I'm gonna get your ass.
You a ninja. This motherfucker a ninja.
Yo, you make sure you don't tell everybody everything. That's the thing about it. Like, you don't. That's the only thing you got.
That sounds like you are constantly operating on distrust.
No. Operating on reality. Reality, it's not distrust, but we know it exists.
What?
You know, the knowledge of good and evil. We know it exists, so at the end of the day, you have to think about possibilities. You have to think about different realities.
I think good and evil, like, that's I don't know.
This is a figure of speech of saying that you have knowledge of both. You know, you have to be realistic to know that I'm not operating on distrust, but depending on how things play out, you're not gonna play chess, and he obviously, in your mind, you perceive that he's trying to do this to you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna move accordingly. Yeah, that's exactly that's the same. You're gonna move accordingly.
Yeah, but there's rules on this game, and in chess.
That's what makes.
So here's the difference. All right.
There's no rules in real life. I'm just using that small percentage of the.
And that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you playing chess, right, and this motherfucker does some shit where he jumps off the board and creates 2 extra blocks to come back over and put me in checkmate. Like, we not playing by the same rules.
Yeah, but it's always gonna be
but
indication.
That don't mean that I say, all right, now he did that, I'll allow it. I'm gonna do this.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Look. You waited for him to hit you with the element of surprise. You can't wait for them to do it. You gotta see it before.
First.
I mean, who does that? Who waits to get
cheated on?
Who get devoured out here? Who waits to get eaten?
I mean, I'm not trying. I'm not hungry. So I'm not worried about eating. I'm not worried about eating this or eating that. Like I know when it's time to eat. This is time to eat, and what I'm going to eat is agreed upon that's fair game.
But you got a good sense when somebody not playing by the rules.
And and it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. Like it's not. I'm not trying to get my lick back. I'm not trying to get back at him because for me, and this is just me, you know, obviously you and I differ in this. You're creating something else in me that I don't want. Like I want to be in control of my vessel. Like I want to be in control of what I decide to do, how I decide to carry myself. I want to be 100. Like, so for people who care about me, when they look at me, they know. If they don't have to question my character. You know what my character is. It is what it is. So I ain't worrying about it. Ain't good.
You don't believe you're a vessel of karma?
Yeah.
For somebody else? I'm your karma.
For the world.
I realized I came to reality that I'm supposed to be your karma.
What you mean? You got it. Sound like you trying to get deep.
I'm not trying to get deep. I'm just saying, no.
Good.
You are, I believe in life when you realize like, oh, if I make these moves on you, this is going to sit well based on what I do know. I think I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be, like you say, instant karma. I'm supposed to be whatever's coming back to you for doing this.
So what you saying is you're the Joker to my Batman?
Not so.
Purposely.
Karma don't come by accident.